Welcome to the episode Middle Ground with L.L.C, where we treat you like family. That's the theme song, Detroit Love, off my first album, The JL Experience. I own the music and the copyright, so don't mute nothing Facebook. Always got to say that. Got another great guest for you today. We have Michigan State Senator of District 10 and Michigan Legislature, Dr. Michael D. MacDonald MBA DHA. Welcome to the show, sir.
Oh, I'm glad to be here, Jeffrey. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you. First question, what led you to this path?
Well, currently I'm just a doctor, so I didn't win my reelection, but my senator in District 10 was one of the most purposeful of my life. I went to school. I did an undergrad. I wanted to get involved in healthcare. That was always big for me. And I ended up wanting to do a little more. I wanted to run a hospital. So I ended up doing a master's degree in business administration. Wanted to keep going. Wanted to do a doctoral degree in healthcare administration. It was a dream of mine to run a hospital. So when I was doing my residency in Washington, D.C., I got a chance to meet some CEOs of hospitals, and they kind of picked up on that I had a real passion for policy. I got to meet some federal representatives, some congressmen out there, and they thought I had a good temperament and I had a good personability to the way I helped and dealt with people. And they suggested instead of running a hospital, you should get into politics. So, fast forward a little bit, I finished my doctoral degree. It took a real long time. It took longer than I thought it was going to take. So at that point, I was already kind of eyeing the political world, and I'm a De La Salle grad. I went to De La Salle High School, and I happened to meet some of the alumni there, and they said, MacDonald, you'd be perfect to run for this open Senate seat. So they brought me to Lansing. I got to meet all the leadership, and they said, get your butt in the race. We like you, and start knocking doors. Just shut up and meet people, knock doors, be yourself. And here I am. 4 years later, I got to be a state senator. So that was a huge honor.
Now, what is the duties of a state senator?
So there are two chambers. There's the House in Michigan. So it's very similar to the federal government. You have the House and you have the Senate. It's in the House, there's 112 state reps. And in the Senate, there's 38 state senators. When I was a state senator, I represented the cities of Sterling Heights, Clinton Township, and Macomb Township. So I was their representative in the upper chamber, which was the state Senate. Basically, I was their voice. You have your local elected officials that represent you at the local government level. You've got the county officials that represent you at the county level. You have the state, and then you have the federal. I represent that group, about 300,000 people, as their state senator. And that's how I look at it. I look at it as I'm nothing more than the voice of those people. I don't care if they're Republican. I don't care if they're Democrat. I'm their voice. They need something. I work for them.
That's how it should be.
It's not even about politics. About you. The founders of the country, when they set things up, they made sure that this was a truly representative government where the people run the government. You only elect people because you want them to serve your interests. And that's how you have to look at it.
Okay. And then, going in that realm got you to public speaking. What type of prep did you do for that?
I find that with public speaking, I wasn't always really good at public speaking. My early days in college, I wasn't great at it. What I started to do is I started to really appreciate getting to understand people. And I think when you start to talk to people, you start to listen to people, it becomes a lot easier because you start to like people, you start to empathize with people, and you start to be able to read the room and kind of embrace the crowd in a different way. So where before, when I first started public speaking, it was you get nervous, and you kind of feel like you're being judged, or, hey, I hope I do a good job. Where once you start to get to know people better, really you get to know people better by listening to them. You start to realize it's kind of fun. You start to feed off the crowd, start to talk to them. You don't talk at them, you talk with them. And it makes it fun and it makes it engaging, and you start to tell jokes. I look at it as it's no different than having a conversation with 4 people. It's just if you have a conversation with 400 people, just more opportunity to kind of enjoy the crowd that you're with. And I think that helps. It's kind of a learned thing. The more you experience it, the more comfortable you become with it.
Okay. I had a speech at Wayne State, and they definitely taught keep your hands down, maybe give a attention grabber, and try to get comfortable.
Have
And at the
fun.
time, I didn't like, so that was my therapy to get up there and talk.
Just joke with people, have fun with it, enjoy the people's company. Not everybody's going to like you. If everybody likes you, nobody likes you, right? So don't worry
Yeah.
about what people think, just kind of have fun with it.
So, what would be some tips you would have for people going into public speaking to get better at it?
Do it, practice it. I say practice it as much as you can. I don't care if it's a room of 5 people or a room of 500 people. Just practice. There's nothing to lose when you think about it. There's only to gain. And after a while, you realize there is no difference between talking to 5 people or 500 people. It's the same thing. You're still talking to a group of people, and the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. And you know what's another thing? A good thing to do is to. I actually learned this from Mark Hackle when I first got elected. He's the county executive for Macomb. Take the mic. Don't be stationary. Walk. Get into the crowd. Walk with the mic. Talk to people directly. Ask them questions. Don't make it all about, no matter how interesting you think you are, you're not that interesting. So get to know the people. Ask them questions. Involve them. Do that, it becomes a lot more fun. You start to get feedback, and they certainly appreciate that. Nothing's more boring to people talking for 2 hours straight without engaging the audience or getting.
Yeah, you trying to stay woke.
You ask them, get them involved. They say, "Oh, well, okay, he's not just going to drone on. He's going to involve me." That's good.
Mm-hmm. Or now the people just be on their phone while you talking. Like you ain't gonna hide your phone. You're gonna okay.
I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the president of the United States. You got 15 minutes with people tops, and then you're going to lose their attention. So you better shake it up a little bit.
15 minutes top. Okay. So what would you say was some of the challenges of that job?
Just having the thick skin. You're going to have a lot of people that either are just trolling you, or for political reasons they want to try to get a reaction out of you. You got to learn to let that kind of stuff go. You almost got to become humble. And it's sort of ironic because you have this important position, you're representing people, and you have to remember it's not about you. So don't take things personally. People are going to say horrible things when you're in that position, and you kind of got to let it go. I remember there was a congressman I was friends with at the time before he passed away, Congressman Mitchell. He represented the area where I was, and he had a Facebook page, and would just say something like "Happy Easter," and all of a sudden people would come up. Yeah, but that's how it was with all of us. You don't know who's going to try to give you a hard time for what reasons. That could be because they want to get a reaction out of you. You got to kind of just let that stuff go. That's probably friends in your family see something like, "Hey, I hope you go to hell, Senator," or it's like, "Well,
wow,
why do you think that? I like you."
Yeah, that's jacked up. Dang. Happy Easter.
Well, it's being a public figure. It's no different than being any public figure, whoever you are, an actor. People are gonna be people. It doesn't represent the vast majority of people, though.
Now, was that the farthest you wanted to go with it, or did you want to keep going?
Oh, I love to go for a federal office in the future. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Because I'm doing a lot of things with the military, aerospace defense. I'd love to make Detroit the new Silicon Valley. I like to bring technologies here, and I work really well with the federal representatives, both Republican and Democrat. I get along with Gary Peters really well. John James and I are really good friends.
Yeah, Detroit to Silicon Valley, that'd definitely be dope. A lot of jobs.
Yeah, when I started, so the Aerospace Defense Caucus I started with Representative Joe Tate. Joe Tate is now Speaker of the House, and it's got a lot of momentum to it. When I started, I went to the Pentagon, and I said, I think Detroit could be the innovation, technology, economic driver of the whole country. And they said, well, we don't really think it is right now, but it was. We were the arsenal of democracy. We built all the military equipment for World War II. People don't remember Detroit was instrumental in that. Roosevelt didn't have a military to battle in World War II that was sufficient, and he went to Detroit, and we repurposed our private sector auto industry and built all the tanks and the planes for World War II. So people should remember that kind of stuff, that we did that.
Oh yeah, and Dr. Lisa gives you big thumbs up, who hosted that mentor there.
Yeah, that's our history. We saved the whole world.
I learned. I never knew that, because they had like Detroit is a hellhole. Like, no, it ain't. Every place got issues. You just got to work on.
Don't realize that's why the truck limit laws are heavier in Michigan, is because we had to transport all the material. And that's what Texas told me one time too, is they said, Senator, you should never lose business out to us. You guys have everything. You got water, you guys have geography, you guys got history, but you guys have a manufacturing ability that no other state in this country possesses.
That's true.
You guys just got to rethink the way you sell and market yourselves. You guys could easily be the economic hub of the new Silicon Valley.
Yeah, we do got the big three here.
Think it and sell people on it,
I like your vision, brother. I definitely be more to help you with that.
Yeah.
Come back and talk about anything I could do.
You ever watch my speech on the floor, my farewell speech? It's something I believe in. I've talked a lot. I've talked to Europe about it, and they all agree. They said, you guys have the ability to do it. Sitting on a gold mine. Just have to make it happen.
Yeah. And we're right next to Canada.
Yeah.
You can't say that's your backyard.
We're the only you go south to get to Canada.
Like, well, you hang out there. I go to Canada. Canada, like, yeah, it's right across the street. No, it ain't. Let's go downtown Detroit. See that water right there? That's Canada.
Yeah, people think, Detroit. That's why we got French roots. We used to be the Paris of the Midwest.
Older people used to tell me that when I was coming up, that they call Detroit that. Yeah,
I think they call it really? Yeah. It's pretty wild. The history of Detroit's amazing. That's an amazing city. And when I say Detroit, I mean Metro. I mean Macomb, Oakland, Wayne, the whole state. We got a lot going on in Michigan. But I've always thought Detroit was the most. It's where the most population. It's sort of the heart. When you tell people where you're from, they know Detroit.
Oh yeah. They might say, "What up, though?"
Right. Well,
you've been to Detroit. You've been to Detroit.
Eminem was a constituent of mine.
He was a key marketing person to keep putting Detroit out there. Like a lot of New York rap artists always put movies, or that's how people say, well, they keep talking about it. Let me go check it out. And I'm like, you might not like Eminem, but he made a movie about 8 Mile here.
Yeah. And
people started to come here like, well, he keeps talking about Detroit. What's going on? Why he talk about it? That's how you get more eyeballs.
People didn't know what 8 Mile was. People come here and say, I want to see that famous 8 Mile.
Yeah, like, take a picture there. Like, I'm 8 Mile.
Now it's famous.
Exactly. We like, you try not to get hit on 8 Mile. You want to take a picture, but go ahead. Go have fun. No problem.
What about 9 Mile? Why did 9 Mile get any love?
9 Mile is awesome. They got like everything right there.
Yeah.
That's one thing I noticed about Detroit, and seem to be getting that compared to the suburban areas. You could be walking and go to everything. Now, like downtown, like, wow, they got everything downtown now. I remember this when I was a kid hanging out at L.L.C. You got skating, you got everything. And Thriving Cities Post had it, which is awesome.
I'll tell you, out of the Midwest big cities, Detroit, I think, has an edge. I mean, Detroit really is amazing. The skyline, everything about it is cool.
Fireworks is real dope off the water.
It's not as windy as Chicago.
Oh, man. Chicago costs too much. I mean, I've been there.
Well, Chicago's too
but, man, it costs over there. Our cost of living is real cool in Metro Detroit.
That was what somebody told me from the West Coast, is they said they found out we were doing satellite launches in space here. And they said, I didn't know you guys were doing that in Michigan.
Wow, I didn't know that either.
I grew up here, and the cost of living is great in Michigan, and it just sucks in Seattle. And if I knew you guys were in space, I'd want to move back here in a minute. And I said, yeah, that's the kind of stuff we're looking to do.
Oh, that's dope. I didn't know. See, well, you like dropping gems. I didn't know we doing all that.
Not a lot of people
talk about it. We should know that. We have the satellites. What? That's amazing.
You know, politicians spend too much time fighting about nothing, and they're not talking about the cool stuff going on.
Yeah, this space is cool. I mean, I want to know about aliens, but you know, that's declassified, or now they are declassified a lot of stuff now.
Yeah,
I think here on the news they had like a ball of a glowing ball that people taking a picture of. Like, well, if that is something, just be cool, dog. Be cool. We don't want no problems.
I promise you, if there are aliens, Detroit will lead the way. we'll lead the way on handling relations with aliens.
Oh yeah, we say what up to you. All right, you good? You want some? Hey, you got the ribs? Let's party. Let's kick it.
They'll come here. Like we're here because we saw 8 Mile.
That'd be priceless. You saw that way out of space, man. Okay.
They want to see what it's all about.
That'd be dope. Now, you was a part of the awesome mental health fair back in October that Dr. Lisa and others had sponsored. How did you hear about that, and why did you want to be a part of it?
So, believe it or not, during my campaigning, so they redrew my district. I lost Sterling Heights, and I picked up East Point, Fraser, Roseville, and Detroit. So if I would have won, I would have been the first Republican to represent Detroit in over 40 years. So I spent a lot of time down there knocking doors, and I met in the process, a pastor named Dr. Luciano Moore. And I just met him organically. I was working, getting a sign location in one of the pawn shops in Roseville. He happened to be there with his son. He goes, you know, I really like you, Mike. I want to work with you. I want to help you out. And he started introducing me around some of the pastors, some of the churches down there. And we both have doctoral degrees. And he found out I did a dissertation that had a behavioral health component to it. So he suggested that I be on that panel. And it was him that actually got me on that panel.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he became good. We're still good friends. In fact, I'm good friends with a lot of the people out there that I met during the campaign. I've been giving them there's some checks I wrote throughout my campaign for charity for their churches, and keeping a good relationship with the community down there.
That's pretty cool. And the stories that were spoken of, I did have the young man on Brown who spoke about his issue that was going to Michigan. He was a guest on the show about his journey, which was a phenomenal story. Everybody's stories that spoke was really phenomenal. It was a great event.
Yeah, it is. Mental health too is one of those things that's starting to become much more mainstream. Behavioral health was sort of the black sheep of healthcare for a long time, because people, it's like if you can't see it, what is it the same as physical health? And I think over time we're learning that your behavioral health plays a huge role in your physical health.
That is true.
It should have been obvious. I mean, stress alone causes almost every illness. So it's one of those things where we really need to put much stronger focus on a person's mental health. And that was kind of what my doctoral study was. It had a lot to do with mental, physiological, and psychological.
Okay. And we got Franklin. I'm not sure how to say his last name, but he watching from Liberia. Pretty dope.
No, you're international. You got everybody.
I'm trying, man. We're gonna get this thing worldwide. Help the people do God's work, man. Make a little money on the side so I can be a little comfortable. I can help people my nonprofit stuff I want to do.
Money's
energy. People out here.
God wants you to have energy to do what you do.
Yeah, because this wasn't my plan, bro. I know I watch sports debate enough, so I figured I can talk about stuff. Then I started meeting my first guest, Chris Mattoon, who's Detroit author, awesome dude. I ain't think about interviewing nobody. This is out my wheelhouse. I mean, I gotta reach out to people. I don't know about that, man. So you gotta be way out in deep water of the ocean doing stuff that never would have thought, which is it's pretty cool because people are getting help.
You know what I learned is no matter who, you got to get out of your comfort zone. If you ever want to do good things in life, you got to get uncomfortable. I was taught that when one of the first places I worked, he said this one of my mentors there said, "Don't ever be afraid. Embrace discomfort," is what he told me.
That's some great advice. Because you will do stuff you never thought you would do.
Yeah.
And in 2 years, I'm in season 9, and I'm like really humbled because everybody's story is phenomenal how they got to where they are. And I will at some point hear that people watch this. I got into politics because I heard his story. So I got an idea of what I'm getting into. Okay. Let me do the work, research, and get after it. That's the whole point. Give a snapshot of whatever that career field is. And I'm trying to cover everything, so I got a lot of work to do.
And the thing about politics too is it's not during campaigns. It seems like it's more of a blood sport than it really is. You know, we all work together. We get along. It almost seems like certain entities revel in thinking that we're fighting, and it's divide and conquer kind of, and it's really not like that, you know. And for those who do it, you know, they're much easier when you meet them actually in person to get along with than what they would lead you to believe with commercials that they do and things like that. So it's not nearly the battle royal that people think it is.
Okay.
It's certainly portrayed. I mean, at least for people that want to get things done. And my motto is always get SHIT done. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if I'm going to work with whoever I need to work with to bring back what I need to bring back for my constituents.
That's the point. That's why you're there.
You represent. I don't care if it's the person who calls you up every day and calls you a piece of garbage. You still work for that. You're right. Person, hey, all right, you don't like me, but hey, what do you need?
You're right.
What do you need? My time, just tell me.
Let me get on the plate. You're right.
I work for you. I'm your voice here in Lansing. If you want to spend all your time saying derogatory things, that's fine. But I can do a lot of good to help you.
That's true. Now, this is the part of the show to market, promote whatever you have going on. Floor's yours.
So I doing some consulting right now, working with a lot of the aerospace defense stuff. The caucus that I created with Joe Tate is thriving now. We've got new senators who are going to take the baton and run with it. Got a senator up north, John DeMoose, who's going to run it on the Republican side. And I've got Senator Kevin Hertel, who's a Democrat here in Macomb. He's going to run it on the Democrat side. They're going to work with Joe. And Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist has always been a big supporter of the caucus that we started. Because I think everybody sees good things. Anything we can do to attract jobs, keep population here. And
yes,
I mean, that's the key. We're losing population in Michigan more and more. Talked to my niece today. We went to there was an astronaut here in Michigan actually for a school program in Lenawee. Okay. And I said, your classmates in high school are planning to stay in Michigan. And she said, nobody. They want to leave. They don't want to stay here.
Wow.
So I think anything we can do to market Michigan is the place to be. The cool jobs, the high income jobs, the cost of living is great. Detroit. I mean, we really need to promote Detroit as the place to be. It could be the new Silicon Valley. I always hear a lot of these tech people, these billionaires like Mark Cuban and Elon Musk, they say, well, we don't want to work in California. We don't like the government there, so we want to go to Florida. We want to go to Texas. My goal is to have them say, if we don't want to work in California, to move to Michigan and want to go here to work and live. Look what we got. We got the coastline. We got more coastline than any other state in this country. I mean, we have so many advantages. I just want to make sure that we take advantage of them.
I agree. Yeah, we do. And I mean, you can walk to all the sporting events. You can't say that in other state.
Just the Lions just got to win. They just got to pull it off.
They did have a good season. I got to give them credit.
They did.
They're 9-10, 9-8. They can build on it and make some noise next year. I'm saying it live. I believe they're on the right track. I want to say that live before.
It's the Lions. We've had the Red Wings win. We've had the Tigers win. We've had the Pistons. The Lions win. It's a game changer for everybody.
I'm telling you right now, Mike, I ain't coming downtown.
No.
Lions win Super Bowl. I watch on TV because they're going to nut up. They've been starving to say, we the champs. We told you we could do it. Y'all have fun. I
There
go
are
to the
people like
parade.
my dad, who was born in the 40s, that
Mhm.
he remembers when they had like Alex Karras and they
Yeah, they was a dog in the 50s winning
before
NFL
the
title.
era, they were great, you know. And
Mhm. When they coming back.
well, another playoff win, you're going to see a parade in the streets. Winning the Super Bowl, you might as well. They're gonna they are the aliens are gonna come down for that one.
I told you, man, I ain't coming downtown. We the
Man, you're
NFL
gonna
champs. I ain't
bit of
coming. Mm-mm.
this universe is gonna come down for that parade.
Ain't nobody going to work because the bar's still going to be open at 8 o'clock. Like, man, we still drinking. We the champs. We
Yeah,
did it. Like, hey, don't drive. Get an Uber.
you're gonna
But
see
you're
a
right. We
guy.
champs.
He's gonna say, "We did it." And you're gonna say, "Hey, that was 10 years ago." He's like, "Yeah, that
Exactly.
parade lasts a long time."
Because I watched the game against Green Bay. Like, but you ain't got nothing to play for. But they dominated. Like, wow. I'm
Well, if
not
they had
used to
to play
that.
for,
Lions. Okay.
they wanted to shove it
And they got
in
screwed.
face, is what they wanted to do.
Yeah, they definitely rubbed in their face and found out there was some screwy stuff with that Rams game in Seattle. So we should have been in there with them questionable calls.
Again, with the refs, you know, even when we're not there, not playing, they'd always find a way.
It's Detroit against everybody, man. It's a sad truth. It's
Mhm.
like with the Pistons, dog team when we the bad boys. They're just now admitting, well, you know, they were a dominant dynasty. Yeah, we beat everybody and Jordan. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
You can't skip over 89 and 90 like it didn't happen.
they
It
said the
happened.
person that has Jordan's number more than any basketball player alive was Isaiah Thomas.
Mhm.
Isaiah can point blank say head to head in their prime that he got the better of Jordan.
And people
You
get
say
upset,
Jordan's
like,
the
but
best ever.
it's true.
Thomas head to head had his
Hey,
number.
3-1.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like you from Detroit, you know, it's like Jordan sweet, but he wasn't nobody to us. We were trying to beat Boston because we kept beating him.
yeah.
He wasn't no threat. You just hate Jordan. Like, if you live in Detroit, you watched the game and saw y'all are getting there, but not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, sports are great in Detroit. It's just those Lions. We could get those Lions over. We're good.
Yes. But I got hope now. I believe we're going to get
Mhm.
it. So, what has been your biggest challenge on your journey?
Just transitionary stuff, you know, like the stuff you learn along the way.
Okay.
Failure, you got to make sure whenever you fail, you get back up. Don't let it deter you. The doctoral degree took a lot longer than I thought it would. You know, I had submitted my paperwork to Institutional Review Board. They lost it. You know, you hit roadblocks like that, but the key is you just don't ever give up. You know, I just lost an election, so there's a transition now to back to the private sector, but I'm good. You know, I work even with my opponent that beat me. I've called her and offered help, and have constituents who still call me, and I say, "Can I bring them over to you? Do you mind if they need help?" And yeah, you know, you just keep going. I think that's the key to success. That's what anybody who's successful will tell you, is that it's not about your successes; it's about how you handle your failures.
Hey, to be 23 years getting my bachelor's degree in business management, I changed my major 3 times. I dropped out for 5 years, and then I got back serious and ran through it.
Well,
As long
anybody
as
can
you,
success, right? It's the people who can handle or figure out what to do when they don't succeed. Those are the people that end up winning the day in the end.
yeah, that is the thing, because that adversity is real.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Lisa agrees. That's gonna let you know if you grown or you still a mouse, because adversity will slap you in the mouth. You're like, dang,
All right.
get this class over, I gotta redo this. But if your goal is to get to that end of that wall, that's what I gotta do. Shake it off, give the guy, and get back after it, and go
Yeah,
hard.
that's going to hit adversity somewhere, some way. I don't care if you're a trillionaire, king, it don't matter. You're going to hit adversity somewhere,
Mhm.
somewhere. You're going to hit adversity.
Absolutely. Now, what has been your impact on your journey, in your opinion?
Well, I hope that, well, the big thing for me was more than anything meeting my family. You know, I have
Okay.
a wife, Laura, and I just had a baby named Evelyn.
Congratulations.
2.5 years ago. She'll be 3 in May. So I think it's those kind of things that, growing up, having a family now, I think that I learned that are most important. Can't worry about what your legacy is or what people think of you. You just keep trying to help people where you can.
Yeah.
But your family is it's one of those things that being successful there means everything.
Yeah, charity do start at home.
Mm-hmm.
You got bad relationships, you got to find a way to mend fences and forgive.
Yeah, that's a big one too. Yeah, you don't want to hold on to things. It's very hard for people to kind of let things go. Because really, who does it really hold back? You. Mm-hmm. Holding like that holds you back. So.
They ain't thinking about you no more. They living their life. You up here mad and bitter.
Yeah. Put a 30-year place against someone who may not even know they screwed you over.
That'd be the worst. Like, I didn't know I bumped you and you've been feeling that way for 10 years. I'm sorry. Yeah. I've been drinking Jack. I've been doing this. Like, I didn't know. I'm sorry. You're like, wow, they didn't even think about it.
They didn't realize created James Bond villain because I bumped into somebody one day accidentally. I didn't say
you're my nemesis. Like, nemesis? Who is this person? You don't know me? Like, no. Like, dang. Then you got.
What was it? What was it that made you so bent on world domination? It was that day you set my foot.
Exactly.
Boy, I really wish I should have said, I'm sorry. My bad.
Exactly. You went through all that. You could have just let that go and have a happy life and do your thing. Having some fun.
Well, you
a lot going on.
To be happy or not, right? If you're not happy, it's kind of because you're, it's something internal.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on in the world. We in a post-COVID world. People probably got PTSD from being isolated.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets better.
Yeah, COVID was
really way to do it. Keep moving. I mean, it spawned a lot of people become entrepreneurs. That's definitely for sure. So if God been saying for years, you're supposed to be a doctor. No, I'm getting this money as a lawyer or this. Well, sitting at home can't go nowhere. What you'll do the rest of your life? Go back to what you've been doing and you hate it, or do what you was created to do, or figure it out.
Some people took the time and got degrees and started businesses. Other people just wasted their money.
Oh man,
choices. The choices you make, and some people are out of it and they're going to be better for it, and some people are not, and that's life.
Yeah, you always gonna have a few do what they supposed to do. Son, I'm just gonna party, man. I think about this stuff later. Like, okay, later got a date. You ain't gonna like later. Because you could have took that, but you was balling out. Hope it was fun.
I'm gonna do it one day. Yeah, one day. Just do it.
Yep, tag keep moving, which is crazy.
Yeah.
All right. And last question: what advice do you have for someone trying to find their purpose?
Well, a few things there. Obviously, find the thing that makes you happy. Find the thing that kind of gives you a sense that you're doing some good in the world. I think it's very difficult to help others find their purpose. For me personally, it's just about continuing to improve on what I'm doing. Always trying to learn something new, help someone new. It doesn't have to be, I need to be the president of the United States or I need to do this. I think as long as you keep kind of progressing in life and you kind of learn, you meet new people every day, you get to do a nice thing for somebody different every day, you have new experiences, because everything in life really boils down to experiences.
That's true.
So try to put yourself in a position where you're experiencing things that you're learning, lessons. I think that's, if anything is part of God's plan, it's to have these experiences and learn from them. And they could be negative, they could be positive, they could be rewarding, they could just be painful. Either way, when you're living life, you're going to have these experiences, and the key is what you're getting from them. And as long as you can keep having these experiences, I think you'll always have purpose.
That's true. I mean, some people believe in the microwave. I want it now. Not how that work.
Take a risk, start a business, get a degree, do something that's a little outside your comfort zone,
or trade. They make a lot of money too.
Well, get into a trade. It might be a good experience, it might be a bad experience, but either way, you're going to learn something, and you're gonna have a new could have a new purpose in life. You could identify something new about yourself you didn't know. It's those things. When you keep progressing like that, you're always going to have a purpose in this world.
That's true. You take a chance. You learn so much.
Don't be afraid to fail, because everybody's going to fail. People like Tesla, people like Henry Ford. I mean, these people failed millions of times. Look at Elon Musk. They laughed at Elon Musk a while ago when he told NASA that he could launch these satellites, and now he's the go-to. But now he's the richest man in the world. I mean, don't worry about it.
That's crazy. I know my personality. I talk a little smack. Like, I thought I couldn't do it. I'm gonna help you, but I'm gonna sass you for like 2 seconds because you can't do A, B. I guess it was possible.
And what's internally going on with a person that feels it's necessary to tell you what you can or cannot do? I mean, what's really going on with that person? You never know. That person could feel resentful, or the fact you're trying to do something that they themselves are afraid to do.
And that's the sad part.
Yeah, so I wouldn't worry about what people say. You just keep moving.
That's true. You're very humble. I appreciate that. I need to work on that, but I talk a little trash, Mike.
No, I hear you.
Not the least said, creative and innovative thinking. True. We definitely need that. We don't have new industries either, if you think about it. Other than tech, what have we created that you can say we can manufacture?
Well, that's one of the big things. The auto industry does do some pretty cool and innovative things. I think a lot of it is just getting the young people to realize that there's even more we can be doing with that. We can be doing hypersonic missiles. We could be working on quantum computing, which is sort of the future of computing, edge computing. There's all sorts of things that, as long as we have risk takers and people who are willing to try and not be afraid to fail, we're going to continue to innovate.
Okay. Yeah. We just don't need to do time travel because,
Oh, we'll get there.
We might mess it
up. Jeff. I'm from the year 2065.
Yeah, I can see that though, because you make a lot of sense, Mike. You make a lot of sense. We need people like you out here, especially up there, doing stuff to help people. That makes sense.
Best thing too is just knowing that you're always a work in progress. As a human being, you're always a work in progress. You're never going to reach whatever you think your idea of perfection is. So just always try your best, and always know you're never going to be perfect, but you're always going to try to be the best version of you can be.
Man, that's that Yoda game. That's what I'm talking about. That's the goal of the show, to make you very comfortable, so I get that type of knowledge out of you. I definitely want to thank the former Michigan State Senator, District 10 at Michigan Legislature, and doctor as well, Michael D. MacDonald MBA DHA. What is DHA, by the way?
It's a Doctor of Health Administration.
Okay. Dope.
Like a practitioner doctoral degree. So you can do an MBA, and then if you want to do a practitioner doctoral degree, you can do a DBA. So in my case, I did an MBA, but I didn't think it was specific enough to healthcare because I didn't do an MHA. Okay. So I had to do a DHA. So it'd be more specific to hospital related, because at the time I wanted to run a hospital. And so,
still to go?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I still have an interest in doing that, but being a state senator, I was on a lot of the health policy committees.
Okay.
That was even a better opportunity to determine policy for healthcare. And I was on health appropriations, so that gave me the opportunity to direct monies into the healthcare industry.
Okay.
There in Macomb, which was a hospital in my district in Clinton Township, I was able to get them a couple $1 million for a back entrance, which would help their ambulances. Okay. So there's a lot there too, and hopefully I can get that opportunity again sometime in the future.
Yeah, I mean, You make sense, brother. You always welcome back on the show. Want to partner? Let me know. I can be of service.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you, Jeffrey. We'll talk offline, see what you got going on, and let's connect somewhere. Let's connect in some stuff in the future.
Okay. I'm gonna play this amazing Emmy Award-winning outro. Hope everybody have a great weekend. Watch some football. I don't know who playing, but I guess it'll be a good game, hopefully.
Next year will be the Lions.
There you go.
Next year will be the Lions.
Until next time, everybody.
Playoff win.
313 Detroit's love, the Motor City. Detroit's love, can't nothing stop me. Detroit's love, I love my city. Detroit's love, that 313. Detroit raised me. Detroit.